In recent years, two tight ends have dominated the football field and become a couple of football's all-time greats. Travis Kelce is Patrick Mahomes' favorite target in Kansas City, a team in the midst of building a dynasty. But before him, Rob Gronkowski dominated the position while catching footballs from Tom Brady. In this video, we'll dive into the statistical accomplishments, playing styles, impact on team success, and intangible qualities that distinguish Gronkowski and Kelce. Our goal is to determine which player is ultimately more valuable to have at the tight end position. And without further ado, let's get right into it. To begin our exploration, let's look at the statistical achievements of both Gronkowski and Kelce throughout their careers. Rob Gronkowski only suited up for 143 games during his tenure in the league. He actually played in less games than any other tight end currently listed top 10 in career receiving yards. But his average of 64.9 yards per game during his career is second all-time among tight ends. And he did so on 4.3 receptions per game. He caught 64.7% of the balls thrown to him in his career. All these numbers prove that Gronk was an elite tight end during his career, but the truth is, they pale in comparison to Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce, on the other hand, has played 152 games at this time, and he currently has 871 receptions on 1,218 targets. Kelce boasts an average of 5.7 receptions and 72 receiving yards per game. Travis Kelce's also caught 578 first downs in his career, while Gronk only caught 469 throughout his entire career. It's crazy that both players are the same age, 34 years old. Gronk started playing in the NFL when he was 21, and Kelce started when he was 24. Now Gronk's retired, and Kelce continues to catch passes at a torrid pace. It's not out of the question to think that he could possibly contest Tony Gonzalez's all-time mark of 15,127 yards in his career. It's a bit of a long shot, but Kelce would only need about 4 more 1,000-yard seasons after his 2023 campaign to reach the feat. Clearly, when you look at the numbers, Kelce's a superior pass catcher to Gronkowski. He has the uncanny ability to get open against any coverage. And Patrick Mahomes basically lets him find space and run his own route. His agility, usage, and chemistry with Mahomes makes him the most lethal pass-catching tight end in NFL history. There's really no doubt about that. But does that make him the best tight end ever? Not so fast. While Travis Kelce might be zipping around making catches all game long, the catches he makes aren't actually as impactful as the ones that Gronk made in his career. Kelce sure can dipsy-doodle his way through defenses, but he only averages 12.6 yards per reception. It's a solid average, ranking him higher than any of Tony Gonzalez, Jason Witten, Antonio Gates, or Shannon Sharp, but it's significantly lower than Gronkowski's average of 15 yards per reception. Gronkowski's 15 yards per reception gave him the second highest average of the top 25 tight ends of all time in receiving yards, only trailing Jackie Smith. In fact, Gronk doesn't just have a higher yards per reception average, he has a higher yards per target rating as well, with 9.7 yards per target compared to Kelce's 9 yards per target. And what might be even more significant is Gronkowski's ability to catch touchdowns. Gronk caught 92 touchdowns during his short career, a pace unparalleled by other tight ends. Kelce currently has 73 receiving touchdowns. The reason why Gronkowski ranks higher than Kelce in these categories isn't necessarily because he's better, but it does highlight some differences in their abilities. While Kelce's the king of short yardage situations and is trusted more to move the chains, Gronk's a physical force that can overwhelm defenses with his size and athleticism. Gronkowski was a massive target, listed at 6'6" and 265 pounds. He could get down the field quickly and make plays over the top of defenses. This ability didn't only allow him to accumulate big chunks of yardage at a time, it also made him one of the greatest red zone threats in NFL history. And the ability to perform in the red zone is a critical skill set that many top receiving targets lack. Also, Gronk's athleticism made him extremely difficult to tackle once he had the ball in his hands, which also contributes to his ability to gain more yardage per reception than Kelce. Both players clearly boast some impressive individual receiving stats. Strictly as a receiving threat, Kelce likely has a slight edge. But what about when all the chips are on the table? How do these guys perform when it matters most? Well, both are proven winners. Rob Gronkowski boasts an impressive Super Bowl legacy, winning 4 titles in 2014, 2016, 2018, and 2021. However, he missed the 2016 playoffs due to injury, so he only actually played in 3 Super Bowls that he won and 5 Super Bowls in total. Rob Gronkowski had 29 catches for 364 yards and scored 5 touchdowns in 5 games in Super Bowls in his career. With averages of 5.8 catches, 72.8 yards, and 1 touchdown per Super Bowl appearance, it's clear that he was capable of taking his game to another level when he needed to. But Travis Kelce has proven he's far from a scrub when it comes to Super Bowls. He might not have as many titles to his name as Gronk, but he's already won 2 Lombardi trophies in 3 appearances and has shown no signs of slowing down. In his 3 appearances, Kelce has accumulated 22 receptions, 257 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Much like Gronk, Kelce too can perform when stakes are high. So when it comes to the clutch factor, let's call it a draw. But to further examine which player is truly better at the position, we need to consider other factors outside of receiving totals. Tight ends are utilized in multiple ways, often catching balls, but also sometimes serve as blockers to create space for their teammates. When evaluating a wide receiver, blocking skills are rarely taken into consideration, but it's a must when looking at tight ends. And in this category, Gronk gets the undeniable edge. Gronkowski was often praised for his versatility and served as a dominant blocking tight end in addition to his abilities as a receiver. If you go strictly by Pro Football Focus grades, Gronkowski averaged a career pass blocking grade of 69.2 and a run blocking grade of 71.4. But Travis Kelce's only averaged a pass blocking grade of 65.5 and a run blocking grade of 66.7. In other words, it's not even close. Gronkowski averaged 23 run blocking snaps and 5 pass blocking snaps per game. In contrast, Kelce's average stood at 18 run blocking snaps and 2 pass blocking snaps per game. Over the course of Gronkowski's career, he was tasked with blocking on 47.2% of his offensive snaps, whereas Kelce's blocking responsibility accounted for 36.4% of his offensive snaps. Gronkowski lined up alongside the offensive line on 60% of his career snaps, the spot traditionally designated for a tight end. Kelce is only lined up in the tight end position 46.6% of the time. He's actually lined up as a slot receiver 30.8% of the time and a wide receiver 21.3% of the time. Gronk did get lined up in the slot for 30.8% of his career snaps as well, but he only lined up as a receiver 8.8% of the time. Now, a lot of this is just system-based and coaches utilizing the talent they have available to score the most points, but does it actually tell a story about which player is actually better? It does tell us that Gronk had an element of versatility to his game that Kelce doesn't. Gronkowski's blocking abilities created a tactical advantage for the New England Patriots and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The element of unpredictability in Gronkowski's game allowed his teams to utilize him as a decoy, faking opponents with formations that appeared to be run plays but seamlessly transformed into passing opportunities. This dual-threat capability made Gronkowski a valuable asset in crucial situations, especially during playoff runs. While we don't want to take anything away from Kelce, because his football IQ and abilities as a wide receiver are truly elite. In fact, the sheer gravity of his presence creates plenty of space for his teammates without him even having to act as a blocker. But to say that he creates as much space as Gronk just simply isn't true. Gronkowski's abilities as a dominant blocker allowed his coaches to use him in ways Kelce could never dream of. And even though Kelce is seemingly more durable and has enjoyed a longer career, that's majorly due to the two players' contrasting playing styles. I'd like to see Kelce bang with the big boys week in and week out like Gronk did and still have a jump in his step in his mid-30s. While Kelce has an excellent relationship with Mahomes and is known to be a great teammate and leader, we would argue that his presence isn't as large as Gronkowski. When Gronkowski stepped on the field, he was an intimidator. Teams know they have to game plan against Kelce, but they aren't scared of him in the same way players on the field feared Gronk. At the end of the day, Travis Kelce's an unbelievable player and is likely the best pass-catching tight end in NFL history. He's one of the most unique and versatile pieces in the league, and his style is clearly conducive to winning. But if we had to choose one or the other to build a team around, we'd go with Gronkowski without a second thought. His abilities in all aspects of the game made his offenses versatile and dominant in both the pass and run games. And on top of that, he's also a better red zone threat. We're interested in what you guys think. Who would you rather build a team around, Gronk or Kelce? And are either of them truly the greatest tight end of all time? Let us know in the comments section, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more sports insights. Thanks for watching.